Hello. Okay, my name is Karen. Welcome. Right now I'm going to show you the video of a man who's has been stopped by the police officer, and it's very disturbing what the police, all the police, did this to the victim. They sent a K9 to get the man under control. The man was complying. He listened to everything they said. He had his arms up. So I just want everybody to know, beware. It's very, very powerful energy. You can turn off the tape, the video off, anytime you want. But it is disturbing. And I'm very angry that this had to happen. I'm glad it was on. It was recorded off of a police officer's camera. This is wrong, what they did to this 23-year-old man. First off, I want to say this. 23-year-old was driving a truck. He was being pulled over and they went on a short car chase. While he was on a car chase, not moving fast, he did slow down and stop, and he called 911. And he said to the dispatcher, "If I stop, I'm afraid they're going to kill me. I'm afraid that they're going to kill me." So there's words said by a dispatcher which I did not able to hear. But I'm sure she told him, "Pull over, I'm sure you're going to be okay." Now right now at the pictures that you see, many police cars, sheriff, state police from Ohio, regular police officers. This was a highway. And I'm not so sure a regular police officer should be on the highway arresting someone. On the highway, that should be the job of the highway patrol. Again, this is disturbing, and it might upset you. Turn it off when you need to. Don't get upset. Just watch. There are many police officers there. Look at all the cars. And you see the truck that the man was driving in. We had to step out of the truck. All these police cars. A lot of that.
At the door! Come to me! You know one bit! Come to me, man!
Do not let them, don't release the dog. Do not release the dog with his hands up. Do not release the dog with his hands up. Do not release the dog with his hands up. Don't. Do not. Get the dog off of me. Get the dog off of me. Get the dog. Off the dog. Off the cat. Let the cat. Get the cat. Get the dog off. Get it off.
The police, as you can see, just stand there and watch and don't help. Are they afraid of being mauled or bitten? And then they jump on him. And I want to show you something, one more thing here. I'm going to continue on. Hear him screaming? That's his injured arm. Look at the people. Look at the police just standing doing nothing. See them? They did. The police patrol. Look at the police officer walking away, all upset. This man's screaming in pain. He's on his stomach, being handcuffed. The man back here. This man pulled the dog away from this man, who's a victim, not a perpetrator. He See him? He's petting his dog, saying, "Good job, good job." That dog has the ability to kill this man. They were lucky he just stayed with his arm. That dog could have pulled that man's arm out of the socket the way he was thrashing his head from side to side. This man could have lost his arm by this dog. I know the police officers deny it and say they don't have enough force to do it. Are you sure? In my eyes, the way he was manhandling the victim, not perpetrator, victim, was very damaging. Bite marks along all his arm. But I don't like this police officer petting his dog saying, good job. That dog should never have been released.
Good dog. First aid.
Screaming in pain, look at and the police just walk away, do nothing to this police officer. He's asking for a first aid kit. These police officers are just standing there around, allowing this man to be bandaged.
Was that not loud enough?
You said 3 or 4 more.
They don't know what to do. I always believe the state trooper was always above a regular citizen police officer, a local police officer. And the state, like the sheriff, should be in charge. And made that officer keep the dog from attacking this man who is not fighting, listening to what they say, arms up over his head, and gets attacked. People, all these police officers, everyone on the scene should get fired. Because no one prevented the officer from releasing his dog, his canine officer, to attack this man who was surrendering. Look at all the cars, look at all the police officers. Now listen carefully. I'm going to bring this back a little bit. Now, this man has an opening, a wound on his arm where the dog's teeth marks are there, and he penetrated the skin. So there's an open wound there. You know how silly it is? These men go, they say, get the first aid kit. And they try wrapping up the to prevent him from being infected. People. The mouth of a dog is filthy with germs. That wound, or multiple bite marks, must be cleaned and irrigated and washed and cleaned, and then properly given an ointment for and wrapped up nicely by a nurse and a doctor. Excuse me. And now the police officers are being nice to him. Oh, we didn't mean to do that to him type attitude. Well, anyway, then, watch this, watch. He's wrapping up the wound. He should be gone to the emergency room with those injuries. Now listen to what he says here. He's no paramedic, he's not an EMT, I don't see any identification of him being an EMT or trained in medicine. Wrapping him up with a bandage. Now watch this, people. Watch what he does now.
Bro, get off me. I can't. Bro, I have handcuffs on. What am I doing?
Look at the police officers, the sheriff, and the officer, state trooper, just standing there watching these men. Just standing there. I would never have allowed those men to go near him when they were treating him. I would call an ambulance, a paramedic. How do I know?
It's like 20 of y'all.
Oh, yeah, did you stop, bro?
I did stop. I don't feel
20
safe.
miles ago.
I did.
He didn't stop because he was calling 911, afraid to die. In a moment he's going to ask for a tourniquet because I'm still
What's your name,
bleeding.
bro?
You never put a tourniquet on anyone unless they are profusely bleeding and the artery has been lacerated
You want to stand up on your feet? You want to sit on your butt?
and the man is about to die because of
I'm going to let you either
the
sit or stand.
bleeding out,
As long as you ain't gonna do nothing
making
stupid.
his blood pressure drop.
Have him set up, Carter.
He should
Let
never
him set up.
put on a tourniquet. Why are these police officers standing there doing nothing and watching?
You still squeezing.
There's no way those three men should be near
press
that
on me. That's
victim, not perpetrator, victim.
Let it be.
And they're just watching them over, and these police officers are doing whatever they
Why are
want.
you still touching me?
Okay?
Why are you still touching me?
Because you are under arrest.
Yeah, I have hands.
See, he's trying to be nice, put his hand on his shoulder.
Stop touching
The
me.
man doesn't like it, so you take your hand off away from the body. I was a paramedic in Cheshire, Connecticut,
So why are you still...
and back then in Cheshire, I worked closely with the police officers because we went on all emergencies. We had a police officer with us. And I also worked in Waterbury, Connecticut, where it's a little bit more violent than it is in Cheshire. Those police officers I watched, and they were professional. They helped each other so they didn't do wrong or harm or injure the victim, the perpetrator. They were never handcuffed anybody in front of me. And they just kept us safe. And they always watched over me and my partner. I was a paramedic, and I know that man should go to the hospital and get that man treated, not with just a bandage to stop the bleeding. It needs to be irrigated and cleaned up and bandaged properly. Also, I feel the dog, they show the dog he did a good job. They had to pull that dog off that man. And that was bad. And I feel and believe, and I hope you take action, I think the dog should be euthanized. It had the taste of human blood. And it didn't listen to him when it was time for the dog to release and back off and stop biting and torturing this man. This man called 911. He called 911, so the police are following me, want me to pull over, but I'm afraid they're going to kill me. I don't know what the dispatcher said, but he ended up being mauled, not bitten, mauled by a canine dog officer. So, I think this is a way to rectify this problem. This is the way to rectify this problem. The police do not know what they're doing. They're so scared out there, they shoot first and then ask questions. Who's making them scared? Who's frightening our police officers to such an extent that they do harm to people even when a person is harmless? All those police officers should be fired. And the state police has jurisdiction over the local police and sheriff. And not one of those state troopers got involved. One state trooper, she a female, turned around and walked away, put her hands to her face, and was upset. Couldn't tolerate listening to this man scream. And then when they're done, handcuffed, sit them up, then they're best buddies. And the man said, and the police officer said, why'd you keep going? If you stopped, this wouldn't have happened. He was calling the dispatcher to let him know that these police officers are going to kill me. Well, he got mauled by a dog. Well, people, what we're going to do about this is the state governors, the 50 governors in this country ought to unite and come together. And the commissioner, the person in the state, the leader of all the police, who works for the government, with the governor and other leaders in the government and their state. They are to come together, sit down, and talk about all these events. I want a speaker there describing all the times how bad the police did harm to a victim, not a perpetrator. When they do harm like this, that's a victim. And now they're being buddy-buddy with the man. I want all governors to unite, come up with a plan. What are the restrictions and the okay to do things, to manage them. Put more resistance on them, put more sanctions on them, and be tough on the police officers if they do something bad like this, and let them know they're fired. And now another leader says, oh, I don't think they should be, that man who released the dog to the victim should be fired. I can't believe that, people. He should no longer be a police officer. He should be getting a lawyer for all the lawsuits, for a lawsuit he should be getting. He should be going to prison. And that's what I want the governors to do. Decide everybody, in EMS, and police department, commissioners, leaders, to come together, set up guidelines, make sure they are enforced. And then every police officer, all levels, know what they can and cannot do. All of the punishment they receive for doing wrong should be equal amongst all police officers, all of them. I'm very upset about this. And it's the responsibility of governors to make sure their police officers in their state doesn't allow this to happen. And if the governor doesn't take part, he loses funding for his police officers, his state police and local police. And there's a word out about defunding the police. I'm the one who said don't defund the police. Just have them go on and change them, punish them for any wrongdoing. Police officers all know that man who released the dog on this victim should be fired and prosecuted, and the dog be euthanized.